Hi, boys and girls. I hope you are having a great Wednesday. Earlier this week, Miss Tansel taught you how to find the missing side links of a polygon. Today, we're going to strictly focus on finding the missing side links of a rectangle in a word problem. So our learning target is, I can find the unknown side length of a rectangle when given the perimeter. So we're going to start with this first problem. The rectangular sandbox at the park has a perimeter of 80 inches. If one of the sides is 15 inches, what could be the other side lengths of the sandbox? Show your mathematical thinking. So guys, there are some things we can do to help us attack or solve a word problem. The first thing we can do is we can underline the question that we are being asked. So the question that we are being asked is, what could be the other side links of the sandbox, okay? Then it says we need to circle some important information. Well, if I'm trying to find the other side links of a sandbox, then I know that some important information is the shape of that sandbox. And so this tells us that it is rectangular, so I'm going to circle that. Also, when trying to find missing side links, knowing the perimeter is important. So I'm going to circle 80. And when you're trying to find missing side links, knowing one of the sides is super important. So I'm going to circle 15. So now I've underlined the question and circled my important information. The next thing I have is draw it out. So I think this is really important when trying to find missing side links because it helps you really see what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw the information that I know, and I know that it is a rectangle because it tells us. I'm also going to go ahead and label the information that I know. Well, I know that one of the sides is 15 inches. I also know that the perimeter is 80, so I'm just going to put that right up there. Well, this is a rectangle, so I know that if this side equals 15, then this side also equals 15 inches, because with a rectangle, opposite sides are congruent. So that means the left and the right are the same or equal, and the top and the bottom are the same or equal. So that's all the information that I know so far. Earlier in the week, Miss Tansel gave you a strategy to help us solve for missing side links. So that's what we're going to use. The first step was to add the given links together. So let's do that. 15 plus 15, that equals 30. Our next step was to subtract that sum from the given perimeter. Well, our given perimeter is 80, so 80 minus 30, that's 50. Now, some of you might say, oh, I got it, I'm done. 50 here and 50 here. Well, that's not going to work because if you have 50 here and 50 here, your perimeter is already at 100 and it's only 80. So we know something's not right. So when we're working with a rectangle, we have a third step. We have to divide that number by 2 or split it in half. Well, see this 50? I'm thinking of 50 cents. And I know that 2 quarters equal 50 cents. And 1 quarter is worth 25. So that means 25 plus 25 is equal to 50. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write that out. And I can go ahead and label the top of my sandbox or rectangle and the bottom of my sandbox or rectangle. This is 25 inches and this is 25 inches. So now I have found all the missing side links. But one thing that we want to do to make sure that we haven't made a mistake is to go back and check our answer. And we can do that by adding up all the sides and making sure that our perimeter equals 80. So let's do that. 15 plus 15 plus 25 plus 25. So we have 50, we have 30, And we know that 30 plus 50 equals 80. Look at there, 80 and 80. I also like to go ahead and circle my answer so that whoever is grading it knows what my answer is. Now what we're going to do is you are going to try one on your own. So after I read this problem aloud to you, you are going to press pause on the video and work it out yourself. Then you're going to press play and check it with me. Okay, so the rectangular baby pool at the hotel had a perimeter of 32 feet. If one of the sides is 10 feet, what could be the lengths of the other sides of the baby pool? Show your mathematical thinking. I want you to pause the video, work it out, and then come back and check it. Okay, guys, welcome back. So this is what you should have started off doing. You should have started off by underlining the question that you're being asked. What could be the lengths of the other sides of the baby pool? Then you're going to circle your important information. You should have circled that it was rectangular, that it had a perimeter of 32 feet, and one of the sides was 10 feet. Then when you drew it, you should have drawn a rectangle, and you should have labeled 10 feet on this side and 10 feet on this side, because we know opposite sides are congruent. Okay, then to solve your problem, you should have added the given lengths together. So 10 plus 10 is 20. Then you should have subtracted that sum from the given perimeter. Well, our given perimeter was 32. So if I do 32 minus 20, 2 minus 0 is 2, 3 minus 2 is 1. I have 12. Well, I know that when I'm working with a rectangle, I have an extra step. I have to divide that number by 2 or split it in half. So that's what I'm going to do. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So that means that the top of our baby pool or rectangle is 6 feet and the bottom of our baby pool or rectangle is 6 feet. So you should have 10, 10, 6, and 6. We want to make sure that we're correct, so we're going to check it and make sure our perimeter is 32. So 10 and 10, 6 and 6. Well, 10 plus 10 is 20. 6 plus 6 is 12. 20 plus 12 is 32. So 32 and 32. Now what I want you to do is you're going to go and you're going to answer the question in Google Classroom under classwork that says Wednesday independent question. You're going to answer that on your own and post your answer so I can check for understanding. Then you're going to go to day 3 in our Google Classwork and answer that question. So today you have learned how to find the missing side lengths of a rectangle. I hope you had fun.